Did that work? Are we recording? We are recording. Does that mean anything? It means Jim Leck is quiet tonight. That's what it means. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first South Branch All Hands Call. This is intended to be the regularly scheduled night and the regularly scheduled time. So the second Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Mountain. Mark your calendars. Once we get the Battle Rhythm email address up and running for the branch, we will send out a permanent standing invite so you can look ahead in your schedule and see what's what. But we will keep this rolling and we will dive right in. So this is your February call, Groundhog Day all over again. Also just shy of Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to all of the lovers out there. And this is our agenda for the evening. We'll start off with just a couple of quick thoughts from me, dive into some stats, roll through our geographic area updates and functional teams, and then close out with some announcements and recognition. So big highlights that we want to dive through on this call is we want everybody to kind of have a good sense of who's who in the zoo in our new branch structure, merging our territories, our Southeast and South Central territories. We know we've got a lot of new players in the space. And so everybody's sort of getting a feel for who to go to for what needs and how all of those pieces plug in together. So hopefully this call will give you a sense of that highlight. And then what's been happening over the month of February and January and where we're going as we look into March. So real quick Teddy moments. If you guys are from the Southeast and you haven't seen this before, I will quickly explain. I became a father in July of last year. So this is my now 7-month-old son, which is also just a useful excuse for me to kind of ramble and pontificate about the meaning of the moment. And certainly kind of the powerful thing for me as we head into the end of a full year of coronavirus is just how inspired I have been by this team, its ability to grow, its ability to adapt, much as my young baby boy is beginning to sit up by himself, beginning to talk more, becoming a much more active space. So too is this nascent branch beginning to exercise its rights. So I'm pretty excited by what I've seen so far. I'm pretty excited to see where we go over the next couple of months as we all continue to grow together as a team. Also, just a quick refresher of the standing orders of the South Branch. These are the things that we all keep in mind at all times as we drive forward. The first is that we as an organization have evolved to meet the threat of the coronavirus. So standing order number 1 is kick the shit out of the damn thing, right? I think we're all tired of it. We're all tired of these months and months of pandemic, but we are still here to do battle. And as we will discuss later on with all of the vaccination support that we've stood up across the branch so far and all of the operations that will come, getting this thing back in its hole is sort of our focus. And the second thing is continuing to kick disasters in the teeth. It's what this organization was born and built to do. As we proved last week, it's something that we are still quite excellent at. We were first out of the gate with a disaster response this year with our tornado response and continuing to flex our mitigation recovery muscles with the work we did down in Victoria. So more to come on that. Just a quick note on this photo because I think it really summarizes where we all are as a group. This is from one of my favorite all-time fights, Mark Hunt versus Bigfoot Silva. Great heavyweight bout, but these guys just battered the heck out of each other for the duration of 5 hard-fought full rounds. And I feel like that's kind of where we are in the middle of this thing, right? Like we're here, we've been dealing with coronavirus for months and months. Everybody's tired. Everybody's just trying to wait to get out of quarantine. We have an end in sight in the vaccinations. But this is where it really becomes that gut check moment. It becomes, when discipline and the knowledge of the end game and our ability to focus on that really become key. because we're all kind of digging deep and we're all really kind of coming out into February and March, ready to stand up and answer that bell and continue to drive forward. And we're not going to be going into this alone, right? So last week, I think everybody saw the announcement, but Veterans Coalition for Vaccination kicked off. If you aren't tracking on this announcement and what it means, it's an opportunity for us to, basically get out there with our brothers and sisters in arms, and all across the veteran space. We're banding together to get people out there to get shots into arms. If you guys have this on your site, because not every site is going to be a good fit for all of these groups, definitely reach out that friendly hand and extension, because we are all combined and united in this mission to stop the virus and to make sure that we, as a country and we as a people, are able to really see the power of what happens when our veteran cohort comes together to really perform good works. And also, it's a great opportunity to kind of show them, hey, this is who Team Rubicon is. This is, what we do. So if you're, looking for continued purpose, if you're looking for, continued opportunities to engage, it's a great chance to kind of give them that chance to see a bigger purpose in the manner that Team Rubicon does. So we're really excited to see this kick off. We're really excited for the boost of manpower and woman power that it's going to give us. And if you guys, are looking around your sites and you're looking around your opportunities and you're saying, I don't know if we have enough gray shirts to support this mission, think about whether the roles might be suitable for these Veterans Coalition teams to plug into, because if they are, there might still be an opportunity for us to stand up and assist some additional communities. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Steve, who's going to give us a quick sit rep from the planning side.
Hey, welcome everyone. If you don't know me, Steve, I live outside of Houston. I'm going to be the plans associate for South Branch. What you're going to look at right there is some of the current maps, the latest maps of where we have different operations. We're putting in some different impacts. That is the overall Neighbors Helping Neighbors number of over 11,000 that so many of you and so many of the gray shirts in your teams have been a part of and contributed toward. And so that dates back to day one of Neighbors Helping Neighbors. We did a reset on some of the numbers. You're going to see that the current 2021 metrics there, outstanding work being put in across the country and across gray shirts everywhere with the vaccine doses being administered. You're going to see we had some core responses there. Something I want to call out on the rebuild. If you're not aware, rebuild's going through a little bit of an experimental phase where they're really testing the bounds of going mobile. And so right now with Louisiana and Orange, they're actually rebuilding some homes there. Right now, while they work out all the finite details, it's still just sticking to the rebuild staff. But as they work through these different homes that they're rebuilding right now, the team is developing a plan to get gray shirts being able to sign up again and be a part of that. And so us being in Hurricane Alley, there may be some cool opportunities to be involved. Moving on to the next one, please. Whoever has, there you go. And again, just another breakdown. We do not have the filters set up as of yet for a branch, but you can see where as the former Southeast, where you guys are absolutely killing it. This is again filtered down for just 2021. It's important to note when you're talking to your teams, and just as a reminder to everyone to get out and make a difference in a gray shirt, you don't actually have to deploy. The Neighbors Helping Neighbors is available. And as a former South Centralite, I'm pretty excited to join y'all's numbers and being a part of that South Branch number. You guys are really doing some awesome work all across the board.
All right, with that, we're going to move into our geographic area update. And we're first going to kick off with a demo from Amanda Walmsley. Amanda.
Hi, I'm going to go ahead and steal the screen share. And as I'm doing that, just introduce myself. So I'm Amanda Walmsley. I am the operations manager for half of South Branch. And I work closely with Dennis and Evan and volunteer leaders in New Mexico, West Texas, and parts of South Texas. Also work closely with membership and technology leaders. So really excited to work with our counterparts in South Beast. You know, a lot of kick-ass people, and our teams combining are really exciting. So let's see, is this sharing? There we go. All right, so what I'm presenting right now is kind of a rough sketch of the architecture for where we're kind of moving towards with South Branch. So along the bottom here are the different geographic areas. I'm starting at branch level leadership. As I zoom in, our fearless leader is Jim Flory. And then we've got the operations support section. So we have our functional associates under this section. So starting with Steve in planning, and then the branch level planning leaders, and then it goes on to logistics, training, field leadership, also field operations, like functional area falls under that. And then we've got communications and mobilization. And then zooming back out a little bit, we have the geographic kind of architecture on the operations side. So we have Drew here as the Deputy Director for Operations for South Branch. And then Jim Lehman is supporting the, I guess, eastern part of South Branch. So we've got each of the associates here leading full teams of volunteer leaders in their geo areas. And Jim is also the direct staff support to the finance leaders and the wellness leaders. And then over on the South Branch Central side, we have myself and the geographic areas on the western half. And then I'm also supporting, as I mentioned, membership and technology leaders. And then as you drill down into the different functional areas, it's kind of like the same architecture for all of them. So I'll just kind of talk about one of them. So we have the associate kind of at the top tier is this direct staff support. And then on the right-hand side are the geographic area level leaders for each of the functional areas. So they are direct reports, so it's a solid line to the associate. They get mentorship, training, guidance, policy, best practice from their like branch functional counterparts. And in turn, they are responsible for mentoring the metro level counterparts for those functional areas. So here in the gray, like vertical boxes, we've got the metro teams. So I'm just using New Mexico, West Texas as an example. So we've got you know, a volunteer leader on the New Mexico side. We'll eventually have one on the West Texas side. And then there are 9 total metros within those two sections. Each metro is led by an administrator or team of administrators. And I did not put solid lines between the functional areas here because I didn't want it to look like field ops reports to membership, membership reports to comms. That's not the case. All of these people are led by their administrator and then receive their training and support from their geographic area lead. And what's kind of nice about this is it is color coded by functional area. So really quickly and easily, like this light green everywhere on this chart is field operations leaders. We can look horizontally and see who our peers are across the different metro teams. So if we're, you know, comparing notes, learning best practice, covering down for each other, asking questions, you know, you have a support system horizontally. Yeah, it just kind of delineates where we have coverage. So any white boxes throughout this chart are like open for hiring based on the needs and this discretion of the associate leading that team. So that's kind of the org chart structure in a nutshell. We're still kind of pinning down exactly where everyone fits into this. I know that it's a pretty big change for a lot of different areas. So we kind of want to take a gradual approach and make sure that everyone understands what's happening and has a voice in the process. So more to follow as we work on refining it. Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, Amanda. And let me put this back up on my screen. And we're over to the North Texas and Oklahoma team.
All right, good evening. My name is Dennis Crawford. I am the Operations Associate for North Texas and Oklahoma, native of San Antonio, but moved to DFW just in time to enjoy the Metroplex by quarantine. So between North Texas and Oklahoma, we have a total of 7 metros, 4 in Texas, 3 in Oklahoma, all of which are between the team development and community engagement stages in the Resilient City Strategy Development Cycle. Current initiatives, we're establishing metro leadership, continuing gray shirt outreach, vaccine supports, neighbors helping neighbors, and really developing, establishing networks across OEMs and VOADs. It's a pretty brief overview of my geo area. Any questions, that's all I got.
All right, thank you, sir. And we will kick it over to Louisiana and Arkansas.
All right. Hi, everyone. If I haven't had a chance to meet you yet, I'm Evan Witt. I am the Operations Associate for Louisiana and Arkansas. So this is just kind of an overview of our 2 states. We're welcoming a lot of new leaders. We kind of started off, I was going to talk a little bit about myself. Yeah, so I'm actually from Dallas. So I actually recently transplanted to New Orleans. That's where I am currently. So we kind of started off with a small team, and we're growing pretty quickly and steadily, bringing on a lot of dynamic, ambitious folks, and I'm super proud of the work that they've been accomplishing. We've currently, as you can see here on the pictures to the right, we've broken down into different metro areas to really gear up together to be able to accomplish things and be able to respond very quickly when disasters strike. So we're excited about that. As you can see here, welcoming new leaders. We have several new folks that are in the pipeline. So we're welcoming John, Kelly, and Nida, who have been already accomplishing great shit. Some of the upcoming initiatives for our 2 states, which is kind of like the overall goals for this first quarter, we're continuing to identify neighbors helping neighbors opportunities for our folks. A lot of our focus is going towards bringing on new leaders and ensuring that their onboarding is a success. We're really working on building our external relationships with emergency managers and other external partners. Like we mentioned earlier, we're kicking ass with the Gulf Coast rebuild. We're also identifying opportunities for mitigation and building out a plan for the next year for that as well. We also wanted to kind of I wanted to drop and let you guys know that we are doing a Mardi Gras social next Monday, actually, and I wanted to extend that invitation for all of you guys. I will drop that invite in the chat in a moment. So you guys are more than welcome to hop on that and get to know the Louisiana and Arkansas crew. And that's it for me. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Evan. And back to Amanda for New Mexico and West Texas.
Hello again. I am wearing my acting New Mexico West Texas associate hat. Super excited to welcome Ron and Loretto to the team, building out El Paso, Las Cruces. So warm welcome. And then just kind of operations that are kind of currently in some stage of somewhat within our geographic area. We have Midland absolutely crushing it. They're currently on wave 3 of 6. Making huge impact there for that community. El Paso, Texas, we're currently planning a vaccine operation there, hopefully launching potentially maybe February 22nd. Right now, we're waiting on the state to kind of work through some stuff with the vaccination site before that will be a go. And we are currently in the information gathering stage only on a potential support to a trailer that had a fire in Hobbs, New Mexico. So that's kind of what's going on out in our western part. Now over to Oscar for South Texas.
So South Texas here continues. Houston, San Antonio, other teams keep doing great things. The highlight this month was Victoria, Texas, very successful heavy equipment operation, successful because of the gray shirts on the ground. The heavy equipment operators and all those who supported them. At the end of the day, or at least the end of the op, The city was so pleased they issued an official proclamation naming it, yes, you're right, Gray Shirt Day. Now, back to you all.
And we are over North Carolina and South Carolina Metro.
Hi, I'm Kate Stevens. I'm actually the GO associate for Tennessee and Kentucky, but I am covering for Chrissy Buckley, who is on a well-deserved paid time off right now. So currently in North and South Carolina, as you can see, there's a lot of vaccination support going on. Fayetteville, Onslow County, the Mecklenburg EOC, and we will be kicking off the Atrium vaccination support round 2 toward the end of the month. And there is also a muck out recovery operation that's going to be happening in Craven County, also toward the end of the month, that's currently in planning. So if you're on the North and South Carolina teams, be watching out for that in your email. Super proud of all the work that the North Carolina team in particular has been doing to support all these operations. You guys have been awesome to work with while Chrissy's been gone, so keep it up.
Thank you, Kate. Down to Brittany.
Yay, Florida. Okay. Hey, guys. I'm Brittany Cheney, Ops Associate for Florida, or AKA the one who yells at her kids while not muted, or AKA babysitter of Florida Man. So I will tell you a little bit about me. I guess I am born and raised in Florida, and I currently live in North Orlando, Sanford, if you're familiar. And we have a couple state leaders here. Our state is actually divided up into 7 regions according to the emergency management regions. Currently, we have a North Florida and a South Florida leader, and that's we have 10 metros throughout those 7. So some of our current events that's going on, you probably have seen from the map, the Daytona area, which is Volusia County, has a vaccination support site at the fairgrounds, and we have multiple neighbors helping neighbors opportunities in some of our metros around the state. We have upcoming vaccination supports in multiple counties such as Nassau, which is Jacksonville, and Escambia, which is Pensacola. We have a lot of new leaders in the state. I'm so proud, and most of them are at the metro level, but some of our newest at the state level would be the ones on the screen, which is our tech and membership, which we haven't had in a while. Our new planning team, Joelle and Sandy, and our new logistics team, Jude and Don, along with Michael Carl, who stayed on as well in logistics. Steve Carrier and Renee are my North Florida and South Florida leaders who kick ass immensely. I love them. They are the best. John Uhas was our TFL in Volusia County, and Mark Suggs recently returned from not Dirty Bird, what is it? Early Bird, sorry, as the safety officer. So just want to give a little shout out to some of our people in the state. And if you are in Florida and you can do comms, hit us up because we need a comms person. That's it for me.
Thank you, Brittany. Let's drive over to Jimmy's team.
Hey folks, Jimmy Lovett. Background on me, I've been with TR since 2014. Currently live in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm from far western Kentucky. Spent 10 years in the Navy, and I'm fortunate enough back in August to come on full-time with TR. And I am covering Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi as the operations associate. Current initiatives, we just wrapped up Op Early Bird, which a couple of folks have talked about, and thanks to everybody that put an effort into that. So we're working on recovery efforts for the foreseeable future there. We can look forward to a lot of things happening in that area. We have a Georgia Sit and Sip, as you can see on the screen there, that we're doing every first Thursday. And look for more of those to come in Alabama and Mississippi as we see leader recruitment grow there. So if anybody knows of anybody in those couple of states, let's get them involved and reach out to myself or the volunteer leaders there, and we'll grow those states out. We are, like all the other states, working on the vaccine support operations, upcoming initiative, Neighbors Helping Neighbors opportunities, which we're seeing turn into more support operations and the new leaders onboarding. Alice Tucker Johnson and Cole Phillips have joined the Alabama team as the North and South Metro administrators. So happy to have those folks on board and see how we can grow the state there. And a shout out to those folks down there. And I left plenty of folks out, except every gray shirt that helped with the operation. So thanks to Colton and Adam, Colton's dad, Robert, Ed Carr, and Jeff, and Adam Jarvis and Kirby. You guys really helped kick that operation off, and we've built a great relationship with that community. So it's good to see everybody tonight. That's all I've got. Oh, wait, Oscar, that's great that we have Gray Shirt Day now. That's pretty sweet.
I totally agree. Thank you, Jimmy. And Kentucky and Tennessee. Kate.
Last but not certainly most, not least here. Again, I'm Kate Stevens. I'm the Ops Associate for Kentucky and Tennessee. I have been with TR since 2014. And like Jimmy, came on in August to support my home state, Tennessee, and our neighbors to the north. So we have a couple of really exciting initiatives going on. Our Tennessee team challenged our Kentucky team to 100 deployable gray shirts in 100 days. So since the first of the year, we've added 33 new gray shirts to our ranks, and 14 of those are deployable. So that competition is ongoing, and we're super excited about the results of that so far. We also have our Metro leaders are attempting a 100% emergency manager contact prior to 3/1. As you guys know, we got hit by several tornadoes last year, so we're working to build those relationships as early as possible in this year. We are also actively building our Metro teams. We have interviews scheduled this week. Super excited about that. We are divided up into 7 Metros, having 3 in Kentucky and 4 in Tennessee. So if you know gray shirts that are interested in leadership, please send them our way. Our upcoming initiatives, we will be partnering with the Department of Forestry here in Tennessee for fire mitigation and hopefully some SAW training when we can return to in-person events. And we'll be having our Q1 trailer inventory at the end of the month. I want to give a huge shout out to the Kentucky team and Tennessee team for stepping into the arena for Op Early Bird. It was awesome to be able to go and deploy with a lot of our leaders from our state, everything from CIs to just Metro leaders to tech leaders to all those folks stepping up, putting on their gray shirt, getting out there and just getting shit done. So I also want to shout out our team for remaining Semper Gumby. We've had a lot of weather events thrown at us this year. We're currently under an ice storm warning, so stand by. Sawyers might get to come out and play. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Kate. And that wraps up our geographic tour. We know it was a little bit of a whirlwind, and so we don't expect you to remember everybody right off the bat, but hopefully this helped you guys familiarize yourselves with teams across the territory divide, because as we head into yet another hurricane season this summer, it is more than likely that we're going to be rubbing elbows and collaborating quite a bit. So get some inspiration from these other teams, get to know each other. Let's continue to drive to make good shit happen. And with that, let's dive into our functional area updates, starting with our operational update.
That would be our Fearless IC, Jeanette.
Fearless IC, who's had a long day, so is not turning on her camera. Hello, everyone. Jeanette from Greensboro, North Carolina, formerly of Idaho, but it's fun to be part of a new territory. Well, branch, excuse me. Say it the right way now. We are having fun here in the COVID vaccination support world, making way, making changes, getting a lot of wonderful feedback from the areas that we are at, not just from the emergency management, health departments, but actually from clients that are out there in the field getting their shots, about how wonderful our gray shirts are out there in the field making an impact. So I think it's wonderful to know that, whether they're handing out cards, doing screening, traffic control, people controlling traffic type stuff, that we're out there in force making a positive. I just can't rave about it enough. The lovely things that we're hearing about our fellow gray shirts. We are having anywhere from 4 gray shirts on the ground to 17 gray shirts at different random sites. The lowest number of vaccinations are in the 300s. The highest number are 1800s in a day. So they're out there working hard. Sometimes they're having to stay late because there's that many people backed up to get done. Plus TR in the good old school fashion, making a wonderful smooth path out of chaos. So it's nice to see them making safe, secure passages for the traffic control, weaving people through the chaotic buildings that some of them are in, and really making an impact that way. And that's it for my last minute saying, hey, guess what? Thank you, Steve. I love you.
Keeping you on your toes, and you keep me honest.
Thank you, Steve and Jeanette. Over to the planning team.
All right, so you heard from me already once. Steve Fleming, operational planning. So I was the disaster ops associate for South Central. And so some of you may have seen me on previous calls with hurricanes, and we've obviously done a lot of collaboration. So I'm excited to take on this one unified team down here, especially with the planning front. What you're going to see here is a common mantra is we are open for business. I know that the pandemic's taken a toll, but with the planning side, we're always looking at new tools. I'm looking forward to reaching out and talking to everyone. I had some really good talks with some of the team talking about the weather tracking and the monitoring processes that each side is using and how we can kind of collaborate to build that. So I'm looking forward to doing some of that with you guys. In terms of what we have going on today, the RFA process, and as you guys are talking to stakeholders, we've streamlined some of that process, and we're keeping everything in the branch. We're trying to keep everything as local as possible. So if you've worked with any of the planners that are doing any of this vaccine support planning and stuff, hopefully you've seen and felt some of that. I've already mentioned a little bit about bringing some of the planning processes with regards to the communications and everything. So I'm looking forward to streamlining some of that, whether it be with Teams, whether it be with emails, and overall how that connects. The mission planning process is under review in terms of how we can get boots on ground faster, because as you can see in that graphic, I chose that one specifically. We are the most vulnerable for tornadoes, all of us. And so that boots on the ground resonates very firmly with all of us. We have all felt the need and the desire to get out there and the impact that our local communities are feeling from those. So I thought that was an appropriate graphic. And last, in regards to the FOB database, you guys join our planning call. South Branch Planners Assemble. It's going to be on the calendar, second Monday of every month. And hopefully you guys join us. Bring your ideas, bring your feedback, what you liked and didn't like. Look forward to working with you, and I'll see many of you out there.
All right, thank you, planning team. Driving into field ops.
Field ops, branch field operations. As we move down this new adventure road, this is the purpose that we see, essentially to develop and track, to develop operations, to develop you as operational leaders, to develop you in the world of operational capacity and capability, and then to track all these good things. To that end, we've had a couple of CNGS exercises. One was in December in the fourth quarter last year, helped the WHOs with an IAP. One first quarter this year, a CNGS exercise revolving a tornado exercise. And then you see some things there to the right coming up there. After this, I'll be posting some links in the chat. You're welcome to join in. Introduction to CNGS, a heavy equipment operation. Georgia's doing fantastic. Doing their process training. They did one. I'll post a link for that, the recording of it, and they're going to be doing a series. And then the training folks continue to put on great courses. That's all I've got. On to logistics.
Thank you, Oscar. Logs team.
Hey everybody, most of you guys know me as the former disaster ops associate for the Southeast. Now I'll be the logs associate for the South Branch. I'm going to turn it over to Kim and Anthony to let them brief out on what's going on with logs.
So currently this past month, we had two different inventories done in the DFW and the Houston trailer. The Houston trailer just came back from that Operation Victoria. Here in about 30 minutes, we're going to have our last logistics meeting for the Old South Central. And we are continuing to support the COVID vaccine related operations. So we'll be helping the CNG as needed. And we had a pretty exciting HE support op down in Victoria, Texas, which was mentioned earlier.
Hey, so I am Kim Sharon from the former Southeast. We are currently supporting recovery operations in Craven County for One Home. That's upcoming. We have recently finished the early bird tornado response, and currently all inventories for the cache to trailer and core ops kits will be due from your logistics folks on 3/17, and that'll just allow us some time to get things put back together prior to hopefully a quieter disaster season, but we know it's coming.
I'll throw it over to training, I guess.
All right, thank you, Logs team. Over to training.
Hello, everybody. I am Lisa Downer. I am the South Branch training lead. As you see, we are still in the virtual world through training. We have several training opportunities going on virtually. We also have ICS 400 coming up in April. It will be the first delivery for 400, so we're excited about that. Looking to build out our training team, so if anybody's interested, please be sure to go to Greenhouse and fill out application.
All right, thank you, Lisa. Thank you for the training update. Over to our membership team, Miss Jen Heider.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jen. I am part of the amazing team for membership, including Derek Berg and Laura Block. Just an update, we have a class that Derek is leading on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. What the hell is EMS? I just want to get shit done. That's going to be a really great class for our membership leads. So make sure if you know one of your counterparts in membership isn't on this call with us tonight, please make sure they get the word to join us for that. South Branch membership is currently working on updating our membership leaders trifold to include updating our tasks, milestones, and functional development. Our outreach training for membership leaders is going to be ramped up. We are working currently on a personalizable, which is an Amanda-ism, welcome email template. We also are going to be working on some good training for finding new gray shirts in EMS and how to properly document your outreach. We want to welcome new membership leaders throughout the branch that we are aware of. Nida Welsh in New Orleans, Loretto Acosta in El Paso, and Tasha Hyder in Florida. Please, membership, or if you happen to be filling the role of membership, do not conduct outreach to external volunteers. If you see the following message on your screen, please heed that and do not reach out to them. One last note from membership. Everybody is part of membership. Make sure that when you are greeting new people and telling the TR story, that you are mindful of the fact that you are representing Team Rubicon, and we're trying to sell that Kool-Aid. that's all we have for membership.
Excellent. Thank you, ma'am. Technologies.
All right, it's me again. All right, technology. I'm super excited. Our South Branch technology team has been mind melding. We're currently prioritizing developing a new leader technology onboarding because we have so many different software tools, and like it's just really a need to kind of help people understand just kind of an introduction to Outlook, Teams, EMS, SharePoint, and all the things. It's relevant to new leaders of all functions at all levels, so we're excited to start putting that curriculum together and get that rolled out as quickly as we can. Also, just kind of other notes from around the functional area, EMS guidance pages are currently under construction. So in SharePoint, you can find targeted guidance for EMS on how to create views, how to create dashboards, charts, and they also have guides that they're putting together for many or most of the functional areas. So if you are a logistics leader or an administrator or membership, there's a section in there that's tailored just for you and the things that are relevant to you in EMS. So those are currently being constructed by all sorts of departments nationwide. So it's a very big collaborative effort. Really excited to see that come to fruition. EMS updates. So in the past few weeks, we have a new COVID-19 section in contact profiles. So on the detailed profile tab, you can actually see any COVID-19 vaccination related data. We also had an update to TR 101. So I know even as early as or recently as today, we're fielding questions on the tech side from people having trouble completing TR 101. So there was an update to that. So hopefully it will be fixed. There's also an external volunteer portal. It's similar to the roll call portal. It displays an event calendar that non-gray shirts can register for events or specifically operations without having to go through the normal mobilization processes. Really want to emphasize to all volunteer leaders, please do not encourage gray shirts, or please clarify with gray shirts that they should use roll call, not the external volunteer portal if they want to sign up for ops. It's going to clog the system with extra fake contacts when really they're gray shirts. So we want to capture them as representing TR as they deploy on these operations. On the SharePoint side, capabilities has been renamed program development. So if you see that, that's what that is. And they were currently working on branch level SharePoint sites. They're under construction and coming soon. Last but not least, huge welcome to Luke Walsh on the technology team. We're always excited to recruit new leaders. Thanks, Drew.
Thank you, Amanda. And Mr. Lehman, briefing our wellness.
All right. Hey, everybody. Apri couldn't join us tonight, so I'm going to be covering down for her. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jim Lehman. I used to be the Readiness Associate for the Southeast, so now I'm going to be the Ops Manager for the eastern part of the branch. So I'll be Amanda's counterpart on the eastern side, and I'll be working with Brittany, Chrissy, Kate, and Jimmy. For that role, I'll also be working with our wellness team and our finance teams. So the notes that Apri sent me, so I wouldn't screw all this up, is kind of what we have here on the screen. These are things that we're going to be working with moving forward, some things we've already been working on and some things we're going to continue to try and build upon moving forward. Volunteer leader recognition, apparently in the South Central, the whole Readiness Wellness Task Force kind of got together on that. We're still going to keep driving forward with that. We had some of our ops associates or geo associates in the Southeast that were kind of putting together some ideas for that too. So I'm going to work to kind of join all those ideas together essentially and see what we can come up with. We're also trying to work to find different ways to incorporate wellness into our operations. So whether that's whenever we're able to go back really in person again, getting more wellness people into the field to be able to present at night outside of operational times is some thoughts we've had. And even right now in COVID times, maybe even being able to, call in on teams or something and be able to run through a burnout or a resiliency or a post-deployment blues or something, kind of workshop with people that are in the field before they come out of the field. So we're talking through some stuff. We mentioned it on our national wellness call, so we're going to be looking into that with the ops support team at national, or the ops support branch rather, and see what we can work out with that. We're also looking to actually start trying to create some type of standard operating procedure for wellness. There really hasn't been a ton of guidance in the past, and that's kind of difficult when you bring on new leaders. They want to know what they're supposed to be doing and how to do it, and we don't really have solid things to point to, so we're going to be working through that. Already mentioned the workshops. We're going to keep working on care packages, sending out cards and thank yous and happy birthdays or, something like that. Getting some weird feedback, so I don't know if somebody's off mute. We're also going to work on a resource guide. So what we're looking to do is try to get at least 1 to 2 resources minimum per major metro area and then expand. So as we expand our team, we'll be able to expand more resources to help people out. And then here on the slide, we throw in a little extra information on the right there, is if you know somebody, and these are 2 big points that we're going to start trying to push a little bit more, is if you know somebody, a gray shirt, who is in need of support, or if you yourself are in need of support, kind of immediate support, please push out the suicide prevention lifeline number there. And for veterans, they can dial or press 1 after getting connected. And then if you know somebody else that just kind of needs help finding services, whether that's they need to find a new counselor or they're struggling with food or housing or anything like that, they just want to reach out and get some support, have them reach out to the wellness team. And Amanda can correct me, I don't think this email address is quite active yet. I know we've had some issues getting the new distros up and rolling, but this will be the distro once those get fixed for the South Branch. So sb.wellness@. Until then, please keep using the SE or the SC, so Southeast or South Central, until we can get the South Branch one working. And that's we're trying to simplify how people can reach out to wellness and how we can help them a little bit quicker. And I think this is where we're trying to go with some of that is, immediate need, push to the suicide prevention lifeline. And if it can, wait a day so we can work with you on resources or something like that, reach out to our wellness email address, and somebody on the wellness team will get back with you and work with you on that. And I think that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Jim. I feel better already after that presentation. Our comms team, Ms. Saunders.
Thanks, Drew. Hi, guys. I am Elizabeth Saunders. I am supporting comms at the moment, along with Kat Bynum, who I don't think is on the call, and we are helping Jeremy as he covers down as the comms associate as well. So quick update, just as of like a couple hours ago, there is a new handling the press flash learning. So if you already took one, they did update it as of a couple hours ago. So go ahead and retake that if you're headed out into the field and you want to know about handling press inquiries and having visitors at an operation. Again, for those of you who are on our all hands for South Central, you will have heard me say this multiple times, but we're doing TikTok. So if you haven't heard, the TR has a TikTok account. We actually got a grant to build up a TikTok presence. You don't have to have a TikTok account in order to appear on the Team Rubicon TikTok. Just create a little video on your phone and send it over. You can click on this link in the SharePoint file of this, or I can drop the link in there. You just submit it like it's actually an Asana form as opposed to a Microsoft form like we're all used to, but you just upload the file. And you too could be here on TikTok with John Connors and I think a bunch of high school students are our current 2 videos. So jump on that if you would like to again, we just want to signal boost as much of the Marcom's efforts as we can, as well as our own local media that's being pushed out, whether it's, Gray Shirts getting in their local newspaper or there's a news interview or video clip. Go ahead and retweet, re-Instagram, re-Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, whatever, push that on LinkedIn. Signal boost everything that's going out as much as you can to get that in front of new Gray Shirts or future Gray Shirts. Other things that we have, if you are pushing out training opportunities or event opportunities in your metro area or your geo area, we do have Marcom approved social graphics. So if you don't have one of those or you haven't found one to, borrow from another social media post, go ahead and ask your comms leader to make one up for you. You guys can see a shameless plug for tomorrow's Intro to TR Ops workshop that Amanda and I will be teaching. So if you want to jump in on that, that is what the graphics look like, and we have a whole broad spectrum of things for whether that's operation Gray Shirt recruitment to get out into the field, or training, leadership recruitment, different things like that. And also, as always, we want reflections from the field or just your general TR Gray Shirt experience. So go ahead and share those. We're going to do some story yelling as we get into the year. And the big thing to be coming down for everyone that's going to affect us all is a social media consolidation. So look for that as we get the plan, as we are doing with everything with Central and East merger. That will be happening, and you will get a lot of communication as to how and when that will be happening. But don't be scared. It will be happening, and we will make sure you still have your favorite Facebook place to go and chat and share stories. With that, I forgot to tell you all who I am. Sorry, I'm usually based out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Great, or Clay Hunt Fellow. I don't know, what else do I do? Oh, and I usually support planning, but I'm supporting comms at the moment. So on to, I believe, back to Steve or Drew.
Oh, it's our favorite part of the night, the Give 'em One. So if you guys are new to this is our opportunity to recognize some of our hardest charging Gray Shirts. So I'm just going to go around the horn to some of these different nominations. Kate, could you tell us about the young lady getting stabbed in the upper left quadrant there?
I sure can. That would be Miss Sherry Porterfield from the North Carolina team. Sherry is one of our planners for North Carolina, and she has been getting some serious shit done. Really wanted to give her a shout out. She's been running multiple mission planning calls for Atrium, as well as for Craven Amok that's coming up. She's also at the Onslow County vaccination site. She's just all about TR and gives everybody kudos. And I just really wanted to take this time out to recognize Sherry and definitely give her one.
Thank you, Kate. And if you guys aren't familiar with the Give 'em One phrase, by the way, I should have explained that. Here at TR, we are a nonprofit, which means we don't have enough money or time to give anyone a full round of applause, but we will give you one clap. Over to the upper right quadrant, Miss Amanda Walmsley. Who is that?
Wanted to give him one to Brian Liu. He is a longtime Gray Shirt. He is the New Mexico West Texas planning lead. He had a bit of a sabbatical from leadership, but has jumped back into the saddle full force. Literally learning on the fly, kind of like changes to our mission planning process. What the hell is EMS? While leading mission planning teams for both Midland, Texas and El Paso simultaneously. So just truly stepped into the arena there. Huge shout out and just appreciation for all of his time and efforts to cram through both of those ops, which we're super excited about. Thanks.
Thank you, Amanda. And then in the bottom left quadrant, I'll jump on this one. Pictured standing fiercely astride their multi-ton workhorse is Mr. Larry Montoya from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Mr. Warren Chenoweth from Austin, Texas. These two gentlemen are being featured this week because they were part of the hardworking crew down in Victoria, Texas. And both Larry and Warren stepped up and completed all of the necessary proficiency demonstration to be rated as Heavy Equipment Operator 2 in the excavator. They were both already Heavy Equipment Operator 2 in the skid steer, but they are now Heavy Equipment Operator 2 in all forms of Team Rubicon equipment. So in addition to kicking ass, serving communities, and being part of a great operation down there, these gents are continuing to develop their proficiency, which will allow us and empower us to kick a lot more ass in the future. If you guys have questions or concerns or want to learn more about how to get involved with your heavy equipment program, please reach out to these skilled operators and they can help guide you into the future. And then I will hand the microphone back to Miss Kate Stevens to round out this quadrant with the bottom right.
Seriously, I'm like the talking person tonight, I feel like. So in the bottom right corner, we have Adam Garner. He's on the Georgia team. He most recently was the incident commander for Op Early Bird. And I wanted to give a big shout out to Adam for running not only one of the best morale ops that I've ever been on, but also he had a way of talking to the community and building that relationship with the community officials there, with the emergency management, and a way of handling all of the crazy things that came up during that op in a really laid back manner, putting not only his gray shirts first, but also the community first, and made some really tough decisions. But super proud to be part of that op and part of Adam's team. So definitely want to give Adam one.
And I know you guys are all giving one proudly in the silence of your homes, but I can hear it. It's resounding.
Way to go, Adam.
And definitely hugely appreciative for these gray shirts and for all of you guys. Over into our announcements, just a quick shot of the schedule, and then just if anybody else has any saved rounds, this is your chance, briefing team, to come back with a saved round. But so this is just the quick draft of the upcoming call schedule that we're looking to announce and share with everybody shortly. It looks kind of crappy on my screen, so I apologize. I'll share this in a more digestible format elsewhere, so you can kind of get a sense of what our monthly syncs will look like across teams and functional areas as we drive into the upcoming busy season as we head into tornado season and then into our hurricane summer. That completes most of the formal briefing, so I'm going to hand this over to our fearless leader, Mr. Jim Flory, for his closing thoughts.
I do like the Patton reference. That's pretty good. I'll try not to slap anybody in the head for anybody that knows that reference. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for making it. I think I saw our numbers were well over 100. And I'm trying to pull it up. Where are we at right now? 110 people. So that's awesome. Great to see all of you guys virtually tonight. Thank you for making it. I really won't say a lot. I can't compete with Drew's charisma and his excellent presentation style, so I won't even try. But what I will say is I'm extremely proud to be working with all of the staff and the volunteer leaders that are here and that couldn't make it. You guys, you know, and it's not trite and it's not cliche to say, you guys make it happen. And we truly appreciate that. So the only thing I'll ask you guys tonight is to make sure that where you can participate, you do, and you encourage people to participate. We are in need of people to go out to the vaccination ops. We're trying to support as many communities as we can, but that really relies on you, if not to make it, then at least to drum up some support amongst the gray shirts to go out there and support those operations. So that's all I've got tonight. I will turn it back over to Drew, but thanks for your time.
All right. Hey, guys, thanks so much for coming out tonight. I didn't believe we would do it, but it looks like we pulled this off right at the hour mark. So didn't go over budget. Great job, everybody. Thank you so much for your time and attention this evening. I'm going to turn off the recording as per usual. We will hang out, answer questions, concerns, comments, insults, whatever you got. Tomorrow we'll share this deck and we will share the recording with everybody so you can pass it to the folks who couldn't make it tonight. Thanks again for coming out. Appreciate y'all.